Hey guys, this is Gabe, and today I'm going to be doing something I meant to do this for a while, so today I'm finally gonna do it. I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of movies and shows that I've meant to review, but I didn't do it because I was lazy. I was too lazy to do it, so I'm gonna be reviewing basically every movie from the last 2 years that I've missed. So let's get started. We're going to start with movies from 2023, ones that I want to review. Oh, that's a decent place to start. Alright, so we're going to start by reviewing the movie Megan. I'm just going to get straight into this. So, this movie is very funny, and honestly, I don't remember much of what happened in it, so this might be a really short review. It was it was entertaining, but I thought it was kind of overrated, honestly. Like, I love it for its the emotional moments that it has. And one sec, I gotta get this stream pulled up on my phone. That way I can see the chat. It was entertaining. Oh, okay, didn't need that. Okay. So, yeah, this movie was fine. Wasn't very scary, but it was funny. Again, maybe I'm just desensitized to horror, which sounds pretty accurate. What? Forgot that was like an actual person. Alright, what's next? I'm not reviewing that. I'm just gonna say I like it, but uh, I don't think that's appropriate for my channel. Ooh, okay, I actually meant to do this one. So we're already on the Marvel stuff, so I'm just gonna get all the Marvel stuff out of the way before I move on. Because I haven't reviewed anything past Endgame, I believe, so there may be another movie I'm missing. Did I review Far From Home? I think I did, but I don't remember. It's going to be a lot of scrolling. Alright, there's Endgame. Did I review Far From Home? Apparently I skipped it. Alright, so I'm going to review that before I get to the other stuff. So Far From Home, it's an entertaining movie. It's definitely nowhere near the best Spider-Man movie or even recent Marvel movie, but I thought it was a fun time. I think it's overhated. I think it's very entertaining. Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was fantastic, even if his character was kind of wasted with the whole plot twist villain thing. But I hadn't read a comic before then, and because he's such a good actor, I was almost convinced he was good for a minute. The Peter and MJ thing didn't make any sense to me though, because it's like they have chemistry, I'll give them that, but at the same time it wasn't even hinted on in Homecoming. It wasn't hinted at all. There was no setup. It just came out of nowhere. But other than that, yeah, really good movie. I enjoyed it. Definitely has some of the better CGI of recent Marvel stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta get to Phase 4 now. Black Widow. Not the spider. I like Black Widow just fine. At least the first time I watched it, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was amazing. But that's how I am with most movies I watch the first time. So as of my recent rewatch of it, it's okay. I mean, there's a lot to love about it, particularly the new characters like Yelena and Red Guardian. Those two are very fun to watch, and I look forward to seeing them again in Thunderbolts, but as a Black Widow movie, it just doesn't work. Because Black Widow is barely the focus of her own movie, and that's kind of messed up. Like, so many years of setup for this character, and they never give her anything to do in her own movie. One sec. Okay, there we go. I thought it was kind of mean of them. And then there was the whole lawsuit thing. Overall, though, it's an entertaining enough movie. It's not anywhere near Marvel's best. By the way, the order I'm doing this in, I'm just going to do all the movies and then get through all the TV shows. At least the ones I've seen. Shang-Chi, that's what I'm on next. Well, I spelled that wrong. Well, I rewatched this one recently as well, mostly because I was bored. Let me tell you, I didn't enjoy it as much as I used to. I still think it's a really good movie. Nowhere near as good as people said, though. It's got some great action sequences, some great actors, but it also has Awkwafina. I'm just not a fan of Awkwafina. Personally, I liked her in Kung Fu Panda 4 just fine. And I keep hearing about this one movie that she's really good in, and I haven't seen it. I don't have the time to see it yet. Well, I have the time, but we'll see whenever I watch it. Whenever I watch it, I'll give you guys my opinion, I guess. She was fine in Shang-Chi, though. She wasn't terrible. I just didn't like her character. Really, that's the main issue I have with Awkwafina, actually. It's just her characters. It's not her. She's an alright actress, but... I mean, she's good in some things. Anyways, yeah, it was fine. Eternals. Now, this one's interesting to me. Because it's one of the most hated Marvel movies. And I don't get it. I really enjoy it. Maybe I have terrible taste, but I was interested. I thought it was cool that Marvel was trying something new for once. Apparently not in a successful rate because we're not getting a sequel. But thankfully the entire internet's teaming up and saying we need a sequel because they ended it on a cliffhanger. We need a sequel. There was just it was a great movie in my opinion. I like the characters. I do think it would have worked better as a TV show, is my biggest complaint. It spent a little too much time on backstory and not enough on developing the main story. And the main story wasn't all that interesting to me. But the way it concluded was decent, and I thought it was I thought it was a good movie. Next. Oh, wrong page. Ooh, Spider-Man No Way Home. Finally, we're on to the great stuff. Spider-Man No Way Home was so freaking good. I keep hearing people saying bad things about it now because time has passed and, oh, it was just nostalgia bait. Let's talk about nostalgia bait and why this one does it the best. Dang it. Zoom in and don't. Good enough. I think this movie handles nostalgia better than most nostalgia movies nowadays. Because, like, for example, the Mario movie. I loved that movie. But when it comes to Easter eggs, it just kind of shoves them in your face. Same with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but I'll let that one slide as well. I'll get to that one soon in this. And this movie, I think it handles the fan service really well. Because the villains aren't just cameos, they're actual characters in the story. Same with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I totally thought they were just going to be one-off cameos, but no, they have arcs. They have character development. They have pretty satisfying conclusions. I thought No Way Home was pretty great. Story-wise, but execution-wise, it was really good. The CGI was a bit of a mixed bag. I'm gonna admit that. I thought for the most part it looked pretty good, but Lizard looked way better in The Amazing Spider-Man, and also this shot of Green Goblin. It's specifically the smoke. The suit and the glider look fine, but the smoke around it doesn't look very good. Other than that, though, it's a really good movie. I love the character development. I love the characters. I love the nostalgia because I'm a sucker for nostalgia, as you guys know. Why you think I love the Mario movie? Oh. Anyways. Now let's take a look at the next movie. Oh. Oh, poor Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. How I'm about to tear you apart. Okay. It's good enough. But it's nowhere near great. I'm gonna be honest. Like, the first time I watched it, I absolutely adored it. I thought it was great. Did it live up to the hype? No. Not even close. But this movie was way overhyped to begin with. The issue I had with it is upon rewatch, the writing really isn't that great. A lot of the dialogue is just kind of dumb, and the pacing doesn't make any sense. It's too quick. I also wasn't able to finish it though, so for all I know, I'm being a little harsh. The CGI was terrible in this movie, for the most part, though. That's my biggest complaint. Like, this looks decent. I'll give that. But there's also the other things, like this. How does that look better? That's hilarious. What else is there? I'm sorry, I never noticed this. Why does he look like a freaking... He looks like a PlayStation character. Just really look at his eye. And his eyebrow. And his whole face. I never noticed just how bad the CGI was in this movie. Wow. Let's move on. Thor, Love, and Thunder. Okay, I'm definitely in the minority for my opinion here. I enjoy Thor, Love, and Thunder. I think it's good. Although it is a very flawed movie. I'm going to be honest. Let's just start with the positives. The CGI was decent sometimes. It looked good for the most part, but there were also parts such as the infamous floating head. You all know that. I know you guys are going to use that against me in the comments. And story-wise, I thought it was great. Gore the God Butcher kidnapping children, so they have to rescue the children. Never mind, I guess the story wasn't that great. But the whole Jane's cancer storyline, Gore is dying from the Necrosword storyline is interesting. Now let's get to the flaws. Gore is such a wasted villain in this movie. Christian Bale does an amazing job, but he's just not given very good material. Like, for a character named Gore the God Butcher, I was looking forward to seeing him butcher some gods, but we never saw any of that. And also, the main issue I have with this movie is it doesn't take itself seriously at all. That's not a bad thing in some cases, but in a movie where you have a story about a character with cancer, a villain who is dying, Thor who's trying to figure out who he is, he's all lost and stuff. It has such a depressing storyline, and they turned everything into a joke. Like, I'm okay with humor from time to time, but when you turn the entire emotional story arc into a joke, that's not a good thing. That's not good. Overall, I'd say it's a decent 6 out of 10 movie. There is a lot to enjoy about it. It just... They need to take it more seriously in Thor 5. I really hope they do. That's if they make Thor 5, which I assume they will. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is going to be a much shorter review. Oh, I didn't mean to close that. Hang on. Okay. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I remember really enjoying it when it came out, and I haven't really rewatched it since. So I'm just going to do this based on memory. I really like the villain. Can't remember his name, though. I think it was Namor. And Shuri being the new Black Panther was a pretty good arc. My main complaint with this movie Oh wait, I forgot one other thing. The visuals are absolutely fantastic in this movie. Like, the CGI is better than most of the new Marvel stuff, I'd say. Like, hang on, let me see if I can find. Oh. Okay, for some of the time, the CGI looks really good. My main issue with the movie is, well, for one thing, Ironheart. I was not really a fan of that character, and I'm not liking that she's getting her own TV show, but I can forgive it. I just wasn't a fan of hers. She was just this snarky, annoying teenager to me. I hope she gets proper development in her show, because I'm gonna watch it. I'm a Marvel shill. You guys know this about me. Why else would I be reviewing everything? I think it's a pretty good movie. I just wish Ironheart wasn't such a plot device in the movie. And also, man, my brain is so foggy when it comes to this movie. Let's move on. I don't remember much about this movie. Let's move on. Phase 5. So we're just over halfway into it. Wow, what a short. You're telling me there are only 6 movies in Phase 5? Hang on. Like, how many movies did Phase 4 have? 7? That's dumb. Look how many movies Phase 3 had. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 movies. And then Phase 2. Oh. Okay, I take it back. Let's just move on. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. One sec, I don't know why I have that there. I'm just going to search Ant-Man Quantumania, because that's easier. We really had to start with this image, huh? Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Let's just start with the negatives for this one, because I don't have as many as most. The CGI is absolutely atrocious in this movie. It's some of the worst I've seen in a Marvel movie. Like, this looks okay. It's not the environment I have a problem with. I think the environment looks fantastic for what they were working with. Not in this shot, though. That doesn't look great. My main issue CGI-wise is this monstrosity. MODOK. But I'll give it a pass because there's absolutely no way to make MODOK look good in live action. In fact, I don't know whose idea it was to add him into live action. Good God, this shot looks terrible. Let's just move on to the positives. I think the acting was really good. I don't see why people keep complaining about it. Because, like, come on, you're telling me you thought Paul Rudd was bad in this movie? This was just Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd. And he did a really good job at it, too. The Wasp was okay in terms of acting. Actually, most of the actors did a pretty good job. Like, for all the faults that we give Kang, my main issue is his writing, because his actor, ignoring the controversies, is a very good actor. He's very good in the role of Kang. In fact, part of me wishes that they just recast him, because Kang does have an interesting story arc here. Like, everyone complains about how he gets defeated by ants. Let's think about this for a sec. Ant. How much can ant lift? Between 10 and 50 times their body weight. Now tell me this. How would you feel, or like if an ant can lift 10 to 50 times their body weight, then how come you complain when freaking Kang gets trampled by hundreds of human-sized ants? And he didn't even lose to the ants. He lost, like, he had a shield and everything. The only reason he lost is because MODOK penetrated the shield. Did you even watch the movie? Kang was a good enough villain. I don't like that he was defeated so easily, though. That's kind of lame. Kang was so underpowered in this movie. But that gives me the ending theory that I actually found this on YouTube, and it fascinates me because I really hope it's true. And it makes me really wish they continued on with the Kang storyline. Hang on, I forgot to do this. That way, no notifications show up. So, oh wait, I forgot to give my other positives. The story is, it's fine. This movie could have used Luis, is the last I'm gonna say there. But the ending, I'm just gonna go on YouTube. Don't copyright me for this. I'm not gonna use any noise from the scene. I'm just showing footage from a year-old movie. So the fascinating part of this ending is there's a theory that Kang didn't actually lose, and he sent Ant-Man to an alternate timeline where he thinks that Kang lost. And there are a few things in this scene to support this theory. For example, Scott seems happy here. Skipping over this scene because this has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Notice, however, there's a lot of green in the background. And the little cake thing, the box, is purple. And there's a few blue cars. His face was blue. Now let's continue on through the scene. So notice how the very second he starts to question it, a few people start staring at him as if something is wrong. The people in the background begin to act really, really weird. And notice how Scott's moving in normal motion and everything else is in slow motion. Like, is that not weird? And then right here is the biggest giveaway. We have this woman in a purple shirt, and I don't know if that's a guy or a girl, but I don't want to assume. Basically, purple, green. Kang. Those are the Kang colors. He continues to question it. Everyone still looks weirded out. And notice how that couple disappeared, assuming they were a couple. Like, is that not weird? Kang definitely trapped him in a different timeline. If you guys have already heard of his timeline, please don't call me dumb for taking this long to get to it. I didn't rewatch this movie that much. And then at the end here is a few moments of foreshadowing, I'd say. Also, notice the purple balloons next to the green cake. I mean, come on. Also, the green paper there kind of reminds me of Loki grabbing all the timelines. Sorry for the spoilers. And the candle there reminds me of Scarlet Witch. Multiverse. And notice how the cake has a green top and a pinkish middle. You know, it's a very similar color to pink, purple. Maybe I'm reaching a little bit, but I'm just saying that's a fascinating ending, and they should have continued the Kang storyline. Holy crap, I got off topic with this one. Okay, point is, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is it's a decent enough movie. It's good. It's fine. It's not bad. Now let's move on to a much better movie. This is an immediate breath of fresh air, my goodness. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Words cannot describe how surprisingly amazing this movie is. I rewatch this movie from time to time because it's fantastic, not just because I want to look for new details. So, let's start off by saying the story is... Sorry, I keep pausing. Okay, the story is pretty great. We got Rocket's backstory, and we got the whole High Evolutionary thing. High Evolutionary was extremely underpowered in the movie, if you can believe it. But I thought he was still a very great villain. The actor, don't know his name, did a very amazing job. And the main cast was also amazing. They did great. And the soundtrack wasn't my favorite of the three. That one goes to Volume 2, in my opinion. But the soundtrack was really good. It introduced me to a few songs I still listen to this day. Oh yeah, the CGI. The CGI is shockingly great in this movie. I don't recall seeing one scene that I thought looked bad. This looks good. This is good CGI. And also, the way it's able to just make you laugh and also break you down at the same time is crazy. Rocket's backstory is just soul crushing. Is so sad. And that's why it's perfect. And it's a very satisfying ending to the trilogy. So overall, I give this movie a solid 8.5 out of 10. I don't know why it's not higher, though. No. No, I give the first one a solid 9 out of 10. Second one an 8.5. Because it just focused a little too hard on the comedy, in my opinion. Third one here, 9.5. I think it's the best of the trilogy. Fight me. And now, finally, the Marvels. Because I already reviewed Deadpool and Wolverine in a previous video, so I'm not going to bore you with another review of that. The Marvels... I'm a Captain Marvel defender, I admit it. I like Brie Larson. I think she's an entertaining actress, and everyone's saying she's so mean in interviews. Like, dude, that's just her sense of humor. If they don't find it funny, that doesn't make her a bad person. And her saying she's the most powerful Avenger, that's because she is. That is not a bad thing. So, it's hard. It's going to be hard to review this without reviewing WandaVision or Miss Marvel. I like the characters. I'm just going to leave that there. The acting was a bit of a mixed bag, though. Miss Marvel, her actress is great, but specifically the line, "Where'd you get that?" "My grandma, she gave it to me in the mail." That's the one bad delivery she had in the movie, I think. But other than that, solid acting, decent story, I guess. Now on to the issues. The CGI was very much a mixed bag. For some of it, it looked good. For other parts, it looked... no. And the musical plant was a fun inclusion, but at the end of the day, it was kind of pointless. And also, what was this scene? It was just in a field. Also, the costumes are awful. Specifically Captain Marvel's. It looks so lifeless. And what'd they do to Miss Marvel? Her suit was already perfect in the show. Oh, these are actually good suits. Let's leave this on the screen. Overall, I thought it was solid enough, but man, could it have used improvement. Captain Marvel was way better. This movie was a 6.5 out of 10. No, it was a 6 out of 10, I guess. It was okay, but it could have been a lot better. But at the very least, it was funny. I'll give it that. It was way too rushed, though. Now, on to the TV shows, at least the ones that are out. Let's start with what I think is the best Marvel show still, is WandaVision. The show is fantastic. The mystery that surrounds it in the first 3 episodes, I love the way it's unraveled. I love the reveals. And I love the acting and the humor sometimes. I think it's a very good show. And the twist with Agatha was fantastic. My complaints are just the Ralph joke. I can't say the last name because this is a family-friendly channel. I'll just say a rhyme. Ralph Stoner. That ending was kind of disappointing, but overall I thought it was a really good show. I like it. I think it's a solid 8 out of 10. It's a good start to the TV shows in Marvel, and a really great arc for Wanda to go through. If only they didn't ruin that in Doctor Strange 2. Next, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was good. It had some decent points to make. It did have some dumb dialogue from time to time, though. I like John Walker. I like the introduction of him, even if he's not supposed to be likable. And I like the dynamic between the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think they're very funny. And the whole Captain America storyline is good, even if it felt kind of rushed at the end. Oh, sorry. Overall, I think this show is a 7.5. It's not great, though, I'm going to be honest. I thought it was very forgettable, is my biggest complaint. That I'm saying that because I don't remember half of what happened. But from what I do remember, it was pretty good. Why do I keep closing that out? Loki Season 1. Again, I'm doing these in order. Loki Season 1 was pretty great. Also a little forgettable, just for me, though. I thought my biggest complaint is it was very confusing. It just kind of threw you into a bunch of multiverse stuff. But there was a lot to enjoy about it. Tom Hiddleston as Loki is still fantastic. And, Owen Wilson as Mobius, that was also good. I keep misreading his name as Morbius. Like, come on, guys, really? And also just the whole Miss Minutes thing was also good, and the mystery, the reveals I thought was great. My biggest complaint is the Loki-Sylvie relationship was kind of weird, even though I was rooting for it for some reason. I shouldn't have been, but I was. It's like, I always root for the characters you shouldn't be rooting for some reason, like in Arrested Development, George, Michael, and Maybe. Even after you know they're not actually related, it's still weird. But for some reason, it's also, you root for them, even though you shouldn't. It's weird. It's really weird. But Loki Season 1 is very good. Although the Kang the Conqueror stuff, He Who Remains, could have been handled a little quicker, I'm going to be honest. That was way too slow paced. Like, it was just 11 minutes of him talking. Overall, though, Loki Season 1 was a solid 8.5 out of 10. It was very good. And then we're on to What If. I'm going to be honest. I hear there's a Season 3 coming out. I've only seen Season 1. So I'm not reviewing Season 2. What If was pretty good. I like the scenarios. This is going to be a short review, though, because... Okay, I liked most of it. I wish it was live action, though, because the animation looks kind of eh. I like that they got most of the actors back, and I like the storyline. I actually had a friend, me and her used to theorize each episode as they came out. That was fun. I really missed those days. But this show was okay, I guess. It was good, but it wasn't great. It was a 7.5 out of 10. Because at the end of the day, it was just kind of like, that happened. Ooh, Hawkeye. I really like this show. I really think it was good. I like the storyline. I like that they brought in Kingpin and Echo and all the characters. I thought it was a very good show. And Haley Steinfeld was a nice inclusion as well. I think it's a good show, but I don't remember much about it. I'm going to be saying that a lot. The shows are really long, so it's hard to memorize everything. I think it's very good, though. It's an 8 out of 10. Moon Knight might be one of my favorites. My main complaint doesn't have anything to do with the show, but we'll move past that. So the CGI is from time to time, but I think it's a very good show. Oscar Isaac does a very good job as the character of Moon Knight. as he does with most of his characters. And I like the whole mysterious storyline thing. I like the character of Moon Knight. The villain, though, very forgettable. I think I know who played him, but I can't remember his name. Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke. He has a good job as the villain. The problem is the villain himself is forgettable. What? I don't remember that. Also, the hippo thing. That was funny. It was a good show. My only complaint that has nothing to do with the show is I was dating someone while the show was on, I believe. Hang on. When did Moon Knight... Yeah, I was dating someone while this show was on, and this was the last Marvel show that we would theorize about together. So after we broke up, I haven't really been able to rewatch it because it makes me sad, but I'm sure I'll be able to do it eventually. It's a good show. Anyways, on to the next show. Miss Marvel. This is the one I rewatched the most recently, I believe. Miss Marvel is very good. The CGI sometimes is but I like the characters. And I like not the CGI. I like the other visuals though. Like, I'm gonna see if I could find an example. Bro, seriously? I don't know where it is. Oh, yeah, stuff like this. Like, there were drawings that would appear, text messages. That stuff was cool. I like that stuff. And I like the actress who plays Miss Marvel. It's a good show. It's entertaining. 8 out of 10. It's solid. You guys are gonna hate me so much. I've only seen this show once. I don't remember it being great, but I remember being entertained. I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10 and assume that I'm correct because I'm not rewatching this show just for this. Mostly because there's just everyone hates it, and if I say it's really good, everyone's going to come after me. So I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to be a part of that. 5 shows left. Good God, Marvel! Secret Invasion. I think this show had a solid start, minus the death of Maria Hill. That was stupid. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't think anyone watched this show, so I'm sorry for spoiling it. And also the death of, what's-his-face. I am so sorry for not remembering his name. Though in my defense, he was only in that and Captain Marvel, if I remember correctly. Oh no, he was also in Far From Home. Was it Talos or Talos? I'm just going to say Talos. That's easier to remember. He died and it was stupid. I thought this show had a good start, as I mentioned. But it had a very disappointing end. And ended up just being kind of a mess show. I'm going to give it like a 5 out of 10. No, 4.5. The ending ruined the show for me completely. It just wasn't fun. Although I find it funny how people complain that Love and Thunder is too lighthearted and then Secret Invasion is too serious, but at the same time, Nick Fury is supposed to be funny. He's played by Samuel L. Jackson. That guy's funny. I just don't like that show. It's not good. Loki Season 2. This was amazing. This was some of the best TV that Marvel has done, in my opinion. I loved the whole Victor Timely storyline and the TVA should stop branching people thing. Tom Hiddleston gives in my opinion, his best performance as Loki in this season. It was so freaking good. The ending was absolutely perfect. I hope they don't do a season 3 because that would mess it up. In fact, I hope they kind of leave Loki out of the MCU for now until there's a variant because it's a perfect ending. It would absolutely ruin everything if they bring him back. It's amazing. You know what? This deserves to be called some of Marvel's best TV. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. What If Season 2? Skip. Haven't seen it. Wait, there's something else I'm missing. Oh yeah, I Am Groot. Haven't seen Season 2. Season 1 was pointless. Next. Yeah, I don't like I Am Groot. It's too babyish for me. Which is ironic given my content. Echo! I remember enjoying this show. I think. No, I don't remember a thing about this show. I remember that the starting was entertaining. I like when Daredevil showed up. I like when Kingpin was there. But it's just really forgettable. That's my biggest complaint. I don't remember most of what happened in the show. The only stuff I do remember is from these freaking images. And also the fact that Kingpin's on the poster. Duh. He was all over the advertising. I'm going to give this show a 6 out of 10. Based on memory. Finally, Agatha All Along. It's not done yet, so I can't give a full review, but I'm going to give a review so far. A lot of people are hating on this show. I don't get it. I think it's really good. I love that it's all practical. It's all on set. The CGI is good because, again, they're not in a green screened room. Of course, the CGI is going to be good because it's limited compared to the rest. And Aubrey Plaza as Rio Vidal, fantastic. Catherine Hahn still does an amazing job as Agatha. Spoilers incoming. This was fantastic, the whole reveal. Wait, Billy Maximoff? I thought it was Billy something else. Don't remember it. Point is, I think it's going really well so far, but I can't give it a final review. So far, I think it's a solid 7.5. My only complaint is sometimes it leans a little too hard into the comedy. So it's hard for me to take the serious moments seriously. But that's it. I'm not going to complain about the gay stuff. I don't mind it. Like who you like. It's not my problem. Oh, that made me sound so mean. I mean, it doesn't affect me. So there's no reason for me to get mad about it. Like, it doesn't hurt me if I see a guy kiss another guy. That's just a guy kissing another guy. It's not affecting me. So why should I get mad at it? That's stupid. Well, finally done with the Marvel stuff. Now on to the other stuff. Why is that clicked? I've never seen that. Scream 6. I think I said it was good in my community tab, so I'm going to skip that one. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. It was fine. I'm doing quick reviews because this has been such a long stream already. I think. How long am I... Yeah, I spent almost an hour talking about Marvel. I just want to get this over with. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was funny, but that's about it. 6 out of 10. It was okay. Haven't finished John Wick Chapter 4, so I'm skipping that. The Dungeons and Dragons movie was very good, in my opinion. It blew my mind. I thought it was really funny. And I liked the cast, and I liked the tone, and the CGI is really good. Mario I can skip, because I did review that. With Dylan. Evil Dead Rise, skip. Haven't seen... Why is this clicked? I haven't seen that, and that's not appropriate for my channel. R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy. The Little Mermaid was good enough. 6 out of 10. No, I thought it was a 7. It was entertaining. CGI was pretty bad, though. Across the Spider-Verse. Did I review this one? If I didn't, I'm giving this an absolute 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 like the first one, but we still have to see part 2 before I give it a 10. Actually, I'm going back 9.5. I thought it was great. It was a great movie on its own, even if part 2 sucks. Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I was told by a friend this movie would amaze me. I'm not a Transformers fan. Well, the movies. I'm not a fan of the movies. The toys are fun. Rise of the Beasts was okay. It was a 6.5. I didn't think it was great. Actually, 7. It's a 7. It was funny sometimes, but that's really all I could give it. I wasn't a fan of the story. I thought it was mid. The Flash I reviewed. Asteroid City I haven't finished, and it isn't appropriate for my channel from what I've seen. Insidious The Red Door. It was fine. 6 out of 10, I guess. Wasn't very scary. The Barbie movie. This is one I can actually review. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are fantastic in it. Actually, the entire cast is fantastic. My goodness. I think it's really funny. I love the visual style of it. I can't really think of a complaint, actually. Yeah, no, this is an 8.5 movie right here. This is a 9. 9 out of 10. Very funny movie. Very good. It was entertaining. Oppenheimer, I'm not the target audience. But Robert Downey Jr. was great in it. I'm going to give it that. Haunted Mansion was funny, but I don't remember a thing that happened in it. Mutant Mayhem, I'm going to be honest. You guys are going to hate me. I'm not that big of a fan of it. I love the animation style, and I do like Ninja Turtles decently. I'm not like a mega fan. I wasn't a fan of the humor, though. But at the same time, I've come to accept it, I guess. I just don't think it was a great movie. I think it was an 8 out of 10 rather than the 9.5 that people are giving it. I hope the sequel's better. I just don't like the story they went with. I hope that they bring in Shredder in the next one. Blue Beetle I haven't finished. I was suggested it, but I didn't finish it. The Nun 2 was good. 7 out of 10. That's all I remember. I don't remember much about it. Saw 10 I'm going to skip because too much for this channel. That's all I'm saying for that one. Five Nights at Freddy's. Finally, it's time for me to review the FNAF movie. You guys have waited. I'm giving you guys my review. I love the character development with Mike and Abby and... well, all the character development. I thought it was great. And I like the sets that are built, the animatronic designs. My main issue with it is it's not very scary. I thought it was way too tame. I understand there's a kid audience. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. But it's not exclusively for kids. It's a story about child murder. And I was hoping to see more Purple Guy, but instead we just saw him at the beginning of the movie and then at the end as Springtrap. And then he already dies. I know he's coming back. He always comes back, but... I just hope the next one takes it more seriously. And focuses more on the horror. Oh, I forgot to give it a rating. It's a solid 7 out of 10. I like the Easter eggs. I'm a sucker. That's what elevates it from a 6 for me. The new Hunger Games. I thought it was an 8. I actually really enjoyed it. But it goes down to a 7.5 now because I don't like Rachel Zegler. I don't think she's likable. I'm just going to be honest. I think she's a good actress. A good enough singer, I guess. But I'm just not a fan of her as... I'm not a fan of the things she said, basically. 7.5. Trolls Band Together is an absolute 2 for me. I hated this dumpster fire of a movie. Trolls 1 is the only decent Trolls movie, and even that one's just kind of a 6. No, that's a 5.5. I was being generous. This movie, the animation is good enough, I guess, but it doesn't look any different from the first one, and that's not a good thing when so much time has passed. I didn't like the humor. I didn't like the story. The cast does a good enough job, though. The singing is good. The villains are some of the worst I've ever seen in a DreamWorks movie. My God. Although I do like the "we grew up in the suburbs, our parents were dentists" meme. That was the only joke I found decently funny in the movie. Other than that, no, I hate that movie. Leo I haven't seen all the way through. Oh, Wish. Oh, Wish. I have a story about Wish. I was really looking forward to this movie, and so was a friend of mine. We were actually going to go watch this movie together. And this movie, I kept hearing bad things about it, but I thought, I have bad taste in movies. Surely I'll still enjoy it. But eventually, my friend said, I've been hearing nothing but bad things about this movie, so I don't know if we should still watch it. So I decided, you know what, it came out on digital, I'll just watch it there, and then maybe watch in theaters if it's good. The first 30 minutes were pretty solid. And then it took a complete nosedive. Right when the star showed up, the part I was looking forward to. The movie sucked. All the songs were mid, except that "So I Make This Wish" song. And the villain was so disappointing to me. At first, I was really digging the whole he was nice at first, but then he became evil storyline. But by the end of it, he was just so cartoonishly evil that it wasn't entertaining to watch. And at the end of the day, the main character was kind of the villain. There was a reason that he didn't want people seeing their wishes. It's not a bad thing. Because what if their wish was something evil? It was reasonable to not grant everyone's wishes. That was another 4 out of 10. I did not like Wish. It was so disappointing. Good Burger 2, I haven't seen it. I don't plan to. I don't think Good Burger needed a sequel. I don't know why this is selected. I was never going to watch this movie. Leave the World Behind. Also disappointing. The ending was bad. I liked the rest of it, though. I liked the build-up. Silent Night. That's not the movie I thought it was. I was going to review that. Diary of a Wimpy Kid Christmas is the first good animated Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, in my opinion. I was going to review it, but I didn't. So I'm just going to review it here. It was entertaining. The animation was better than the first two, but that's not saying much. And even the animation in this one isn't good. But I liked the humor, and I liked the story and the message. I thought it was a good movie. And I hope they make another one following it, because I think they could have gold. Wonka. That was the biggest surprise of last year for me. I was fully expecting to hate this movie going in. But it was so good. It was funny. The songs were good. Timothée Chalamet did a great job. I thought it was such a good movie. It was heartwarming too. It was so emotional. I can't believe how much I enjoyed that movie. I'm so happy my family recommended it to me. That's an 8 out of 10 right there. No, that's a 10 out of 10, actually. I thought it was a perfect movie. By the way, I forgot to add in Diary of a Wimpy Kid Christmas Cabin Fever's review. Or not review, but rating. 7 out of 10. Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. Oh. I rewatched Chicken Run right before this one, and let me tell you, that was not the right move. Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget was okay, I guess. I mean, I liked the story, I guess. I liked the stop motion, but that's about it. I don't like the constant references to the original. It's not a good thing when they basically say, hey, you remember this? We're doing it again. You know what I mean? My favorite kind of nostalgia is when they're basically saying, hey, remember this? Do you like this? Hey, me too. This was a bad example of nostalgia bait. This was a 6 out of 10 for sure. It was so disappointing. And it made the classic mistake a sequel can make, focus on the main character's child. Overall, though, I didn't think it was bad. Actually, it's not a 6. I thought it was a 7. Something just felt off about it. I don't know. The family plan, I think I can skip. I don't actually remember what happens in that movie. Is it rated R? No, it's PG-13. Okay, it was a 6. Finest Kind I haven't seen. I don't know why it's selected. And it's also not appropriate for the channel, so skip. Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, man. I wasn't a fan of the first one, but I'm amazed that they were able to get me to not like the second even more. I hate that the whole DC universe ended with an after-credit scene of Patrick Wilson eating a cockroach burger. It was so dumb, and it was funny enough sometimes, I guess. I hate that they include Amber Heard for more than 5 seconds. In fact, I hate that they include her at all. This movie was awful. 4 out of 10. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Aquaman. I wasn't a fan. This movie did nothing to win me over. In fact, I hated it. Next, Migration. Oh wait, I forgot. 4 out of 10. Migration was a 6. It was okay. I don't remember much about it, though. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, but I also thought I was going to hate it, so it's not a very big bar. Finally, onto the 2024 movies. My God, this is an hour. Okay. Oh, bad start. Oh, really bad start. Mean Girls, the remake. I can't even tell you how much this movie disappointed me. The first one was great. The original was great. It was so funny. And it had a message that made sense for the time. I'm surprised it still needs to be told. The cast was great. Everything about the original was great. The remake absolutely ruined all of it. The cast was okay. Some of them were good choices. I like that they got the actress who played Moana in it. But that's because I like Moana. And that's really it. I also like that they were able to get some of the original actors. That was cool. Other than that, though, I hate the fact that it's a musical. Because the songs are terrible. And I like musicals. But I can't defend this one because it just had bad music. It had one decent song. And even it was kind of mid. It was so bad. It ruined the original in so many ways. 4.5 though. Because Moana's in it. That's it. Bad movie. Don't know why this is selected. I never even watched it. I was never interested in it. Argyle I haven't seen, so skip. Oh, Catherine O'Hara's in it. And Bryan Cranston. John Cena, Samuel L. Jackson. Well, I don't care. I hear it's bad. Orion in the Dark was an interesting one. I don't know if I reviewed it. It was good at first, but then they decided to introduce a daughter halfway through the story, and she just inserts herself into the story. That was lame. It was a 7 out of 10. It was so good at first, and then it nosedived. Lisa Frankenstein, my goodness. You guys need to watch this movie. It was so good. I was amazed. Whenever I saw the trailer, I was not interested. And then I saw that bombed. And it came out on digital. And my sister really wanted to watch it, so I watched it with her. Because I had nothing else to watch that day. I was surprised with how good it was. It was so funny. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a funny movie. Bob Marley, I'm not the fan base for. It wasn't made for me. Lights Out came out in 2016. What is this? Skip. Dune Part 2 I haven't seen. I didn't like Dune Part 1, so I'm not watching Part 2. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, I'm not even going to watch to review it. It's an instant 0 out of 10. Just by the trailer alone. The Thunderbolts Return was a solid 6, I guess. CGI was terrible, but it's about what you would expect from a follow-up to the Thundermans. I'm not even nostalgic for the original, but I enjoyed a few episodes. And that's the only reason. That's the only reason it's anything above a 4. Kung Fu Panda 4 was... Did I already review this? I think I did. Hang on. I didn't? Okay. Well, let's review it right now. Kung Fu Panda 4, I think, is underrated. The animation is great. Jack Black gives some of his best performance in this movie, honestly. Aquafina was okay, I guess. The rest of the cast is really great. My main complaint is that Shin and Kai had nothing to say. They didn't speak, and it felt like wasted potential including them in the movie and not having them do anything. It was really distracting that Tai Lung got all the dialogue. Why did I start that? Got all the dialogue. The villain was okay. Chameleon was okay, but she could have used a better backstory. And why is Seth Rogen in the main cast list? He was barely in the movie. Chameleon could have been better, honestly. Viola Davis does a great job, though. Seth Rogen was in the movie. All he did was scream. The Furious 5 should have been there. That was my biggest complaint, I think. If they were in the movie, it would have been so much better if instead of bringing the old villains back, have Chameleon steal the Furious 5's abilities. And then the stakes would be personal, and it would feel like a better movie. But no, they didn't include the Furious 5 because money. Damsel I didn't even finish. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I thought it was fine. It was funny sometimes. I like the callbacks. I like the villain. And I love the New York setting. And the cast is great. My only issue with it is it's way too... The villain gets defeated way too quickly. That's really my main complaint. And also the fact that it's just not very memorable, in my opinion, out of the Ghostbusters movies. It was fine, though. Godzilla x Kong was a big surprise for me. I didn't have any hope going into it, and I loved it. The cast was great. The humor was really good. And I liked the whole storyline with Kong and Baby Kong. And it takes talent to give a giant monkey so much emotion with no dialogue. My main complaint is that Godzilla had too little to do. And also there was way too much human stuff, but that's a complaint for all of them. And also it would be the most expensive movie ever made if there wasn't human stuff going on, so forgiven. Alright, next. Why is this clicked? I don't even know what that is. And I'm skipping challengers. That's not appropriate for the channel. The Fall Guy was another really big surprise because I had no hope going in. It was so funny. There were so many great creative moments. It's amazing. I highly recommend this movie. It's a solid 8 out of 10. And that's me trying to be underwhelming about it. That's me trying not to hype this movie up too much. Stop yawning! Okay. Good movie. Good movie. If was also a really big surprise to me. I actually wasn't going to watch it. The trailers did not impress me. But a friend of mine recommended this movie to me. Told me it was really, really good. And that Ryan Reynolds was in it and he didn't even steal the show. So I figure, yeah, I'm watching it. because of that. And man, was I wrong compared to how the marketing made it seem. Like, it was so freaking good. The characters, the CGI was decent, I guess. It wasn't great. But Ryan Reynolds was really good. In fact, the entire cast, like the little girl was a standout. She did a great job. Kid acting is hard, but she pulled it off. I'm surprised John Krasinski wasn't in any of the advertising because he was pretty important to the story. But he was also the director, so. And the voice cast was great. I cried by the end of this movie. I was amazed. This movie is really good. Solid. No, that's a 10 out of 10 in my book. But I don't want to overhype it. You guys can have your own opinion on it. I really liked it. The Garfield movie. Talk about a step down. The animation is good. And that ends the positives. The story doesn't make sense for Garfield. The humor was so bad. It's amazing how you could get the writer and director of Emperor's New Groove and still mess it up. Like, the voice cast, Chris Pratt's just Chris Pratt. Samuel L. Jackson is just Samuel L. Jackson. It's the most corporate movie I've ever seen. Massive disappointment. Massive L. 5.5 out of 10. Because visually it's good. Inside Out 2, you guys are going to hate me. I think it's really overrated. It's okay enough. I like the humor, but it's way too fast paced. That's my only complaint, though. I like the whole anxiety storyline. I think it's a very relatable movie. Why am I saying it's just okay? It's a very good movie. I just think it's overhyped, honestly. It's good, but it's not as good as the first. Very good movie, though. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Wasn't worthy of $1 billion, but I digress. Deadpool and Wolverine we can skip because RA reviewed it. Despicable Me 4 was okay. Honestly, the biggest praise I could give it, it's funny. The animation is great. The voice acting is great. The problem is the story. There isn't a story. There's no character development. It's a solid 6 out of 10, though. The villain was bad. The new character was bad. But the villain showing up at the end was great, and I like that they each got a voicing line. Kung Fu Panda, take notes. Even if it wasn't the original actors, and it sounded like the original actors. Twisters. Haven't seen it. Saving Bikini Bottom sucked. 4 out of 10. I feel like I shouldn't even have to explain that one. It Ends With Us. Did I watch that? No, I didn't. Borderlands, haven't seen it. It's already 0 out of 10 in my book. Beetlejuice. I actually meant to make a review for this one. This movie is so funny. The cast is great. Particularly Michael Keaton and Justin Theroux, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And Catherine O'Hara, Willem Dafoe, and Jenna Ortega, who I don't usually like in movies that much. It's not that I hate her. I'm just not a big fan. Winona Ryder kind of felt like she was phoning it in, though. But that was my biggest complaint of the movie. And also the jumbled storylines. But ignoring that, it's a very entertaining movie. I think it's a solid legacy sequel. One of the better ones. 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8. Booger? What's Booger? Why did I even click that? Was someone in it that I recognize? No. Transformers 1 I haven't seen, and honestly I don't really plan on seeing it. You guys can enjoy it all you want. But I tried to watch it and I couldn't finish it. It's not for me. The Wild Robot blew my freaking mind. I was expecting to love it, and I'm surprised at how much I did. I cried twice. The animation is fantastic. The entire voice cast is fantastic. Great movie. Loved it. 10 out of 10. No notes. No, that's an 11 out of 10 right there. That might be not just the best animated movie of the year, that might be the best movie of the year. Saturday Night, haven't seen it. I think. Oh, Joker 2, not gonna watch it. I had the ending spoiled to me. Wasn't a fan of the first, and I'm amazed that they were able to disappoint me. Piece by Piece, not gonna watch. Terrifier 3, I look forward to watching, but not reviewing because it's not for this channel. Alright, so the next reviews I plan on making are Venom: The Last Dance, because I like the Venom movies. Red One, I'm surprised I'm interested in it, but the trailer sold me. Wicked, I'm skipping. Moana 2, I look forward to, and I hope it's good. I don't think that's appropriate for the channel. Sonic 3, absolutely doing a review on. Mufasa, maybe. They'll have to convince me. I think I'll watch it, but I don't know if I'm gonna love it. So I guess we're done now. That's all of them. Well, that was an hour and 11 minutes of me talking about movies. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll have to subscribe, but please do if you want. Make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And that's about it. So, bye.